Music, the most powerful language in the world. Classical melodies above all transcend political and social boundaries to unite, energize and empower. For a country that suppressed classical music in the 60s, China now has more piano and violin students than the entire population of Canada. And decades of thirst for the art is breeding new masters. This is a story of how musicians strive to speak what words fail. To create harmonies that defy conventions.
It's not only play correct notes. You have to play what's behind the notes.
Their amazing journey of exploration, distress, and fulfillment. It's a warm summer morning. Staff at the Tianjin Grand Theatre are setting up for a major show. The man in charge is renowned conductor Muhai Tang. He's conducted orchestras around the world, from the Berlin Philharmonic in Germany to the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra in the United States. But today, the pressure is on.
Normally, if a new production needs 1.5 months, no? But we do that in 2 days. Can you imagine? And make music is my passion, and I remember as I was a child, without music to do music, I just couldn't go on. It seems more important than even good food or sleeping.
Artistic passion runs deep in Muhai's family. Born in Shanghai in 1949, he was the youngest son of celebrated Chinese film director Tang Xiaodan, and his brother, Tang Muli, was a painter and poet. But for an aspiring composer, China in the 60s presented a unique obstacle.
It is after Cultural Revolution, first of all, because at that time it's not possible, that was forbidden. The government take care only the science industry, but not culture. And I wrote a letter to our government. I say, we want also to be best in the world. And then we got the chance. And that was more than 30 years ago. And as soon as China opened the door, I was the first, went to Europe as a scholarship winner. I went to Munich and started my study there again.
30 years later, Muhai is behind some of the biggest classical music acts in China.
I feel a small mission that I telling the people here what is really music making, what it means, a great piece, for example.
To help produce his performances, he's invited an old friend, two-time Grammy Award-winning recording producer Jakob Handel.
I will take my recorder and put it here.
Jacob come many times and also working with totally different people, different ensemble, different institution, and very successful.
It will be 8 on stage and 8 inside the orchestra.
And he understands what people are doing. And then I trust him.
Beethoven's Ninth Symphony is a piece that is very regularly performed, especially in Asia.
不要太认真的把每一个音给弄出来，轻轻的、柔柔的合在一起。再来一次看。We are reading the score. Try to understand the word of the composers and the word of the music. That can be very hard and disturb your feeling. But every time if I go work on the piece, I got more and more happy, more and more understand. Then you feel just the happiest.
The next morning, the orchestra prepares for an opera. But with less than 48 hours till the performance, tensions rise.
Sir.
There are some teams who are not supposed to move chairs, others are not supposed to pull any cables, and therefore we're fighting our way.
你看，我刚刚那边说撤，我只是说把这个太高的撤掉，看上去也很奇怪，但是低的还是要的。我没说过全撤，就全给撤了，而且说是我说的，我没说过。这精神上很累，精神上很苦很累，真的。何必呢？累得很，知道吧？很小的事情。
knowing him in Belgium, and I remember those times back in Belgium as times in which we didn't worry as much as now, and I saw him smile much more. He's gotten to much more serious.
50人呐！当时确实还没到，我们等了。你们别恶心人了，这不是非洲啊！什么大家，你们忽悠我！ They say the food arrived, but until now not arrived. They lied to me, you know. You may not do that.
He can be very strict and sometimes quite clear, not to say rude, but generally he achieves what he wants.
太沉闷。穿透力。 Of course, China has many problems or weakness, but that's still my country and my nation, and I always come back, try to give them what I feel, what I should say. A little bit softer on the place where it start crescendo, yeah? Okay. In whole world, I work on as pioneer as possible, let's say. But here, more conservative. Also, they need to learn many basic things. For example, the orchestra or the singer. And I give them most of the experience of the classic tradition things. 3滴滴滴滴滴，滴滴滴滴滴，滴滴滴，注意，太棒了。
And China's appetite for this Western tradition appears to be insatiable. While classical music becomes increasingly marginalized in the West, it's finding a resurgence in China. About 50 million Chinese students practice a classical instrument, and concert halls are sprouting in every major city. And it's not only encouraged by parents and teachers, it's also actively backed by the Chinese government, who deems classical music essential to an advanced culture.
And the great thing is, as we're really pioneering here, the changes we can make are enormous. These changes are the ones that decide upon if this orchestra is able to compete with world-class other orchestras. So I will just change it. I will do like this. So, okay? Okay.
For this performance, Muhai is invited the Hungarian State Opera. But soon after arriving, they have difficulties settling in.
There are communication problems. Not many people speak English. There are translators who are not really familiar with the words. You need to make a very clear description and find solutions.
匈牙利语，他通过这个懂得匈牙利语的英文翻译，翻译给我们的英文翻译。
Should I translate now?
我们的英文翻译再翻译到中文。
It's kind of two steps translation from Hungarian to English and from English to Chinese. This is very professional term, so I will try to explain. I think the main change is like the system for the Hungarian opera house and here are not the same. For example, for the light, they have their system to code the numbers, but we have another system.
There is a moment where every one is thinking, what is missing in order to make this happen, and what do we need to make this work? And if there is someone asking something, the solution will be found really, really quickly. Things start to move seriously now. So we have a section. So we have. And this is really, really great fun, and it's very promising.
通过昨天的排练，我们感受到这些歌唱家的这个水平都属于世界一流的水平。
To sing and to act in an opera is not so easy.
I think what we succeeded is the orchestra understand whole piece through the singer. Yeah. If without they sing through, the musician is still on the technique side. But what happened? Yeah?
Upstairs, the artists rehearse for a 19th century Italian masterpiece by Giuseppe Verdi. The tragic love story of Rigoletto has become one of the most frequently performed operatic repertoires in modern times.
Rigoletto is one of the biggest roles from Verdi. We have a traditional regie, very nice, beautiful scenes, and we try to make what Verdi imagined at that time.
So, it's 4 minutes to 3 and we're almost set, which is a miracle, but China is good for miracles. Muhai he's a rock and roller. He's a guy who lives his dream on stage, and of course he likes to do the work, but why he's working is that he's confident and gives this confidence to all the musicians who are performing on stage. Hungarian opera principles in the orchestra show how this has been done in Hungary in the state opera for the last 130 years. It really went perfectly.
to be a musician and to make music self possible, it's a present of God. I mean, that's from born, and it's bring me the whole life a sense. I work alive for music because it gives me so much strength. It gives me energy, and I can imagine if one day I lost everything, but the music will be always with me. And with the music together, I'm not afraid of anything, because that's the best friend. If you worked hard on it, you understand it, it understands you. And I think the young people, they should try to, through make music, to make a sense. Why you live, for what you live. Of course you can live for another things too. I don't mean you have to, but if you love music, then go ahead.
Chi le confida mal cauto il core, pur mai non sentesi felice a pieno, chi su quel seno non liba amore. La donna è mobile.
I think that's my telephone, maybe. I closed the sound, but okay, I'm still middle of the interview. If I finish, I call, okay?